air conditioner error codes troubleshooting process. E7 error troubleshooting. When the indoor unit display shows error code E7 indicating communication faults between indoor and outdoor units, we should check the connecting wire, the outdoor PCB, power module, the electric reactor, the indoor PCB, and the outdoor DC motor. Next, we will introduce the common fault parts and 3 common faults maintenance process. The common fault parts and related faults analysis. Part 1. The fault of connecting wires. For example, wire joints get damped, or aging wire joints, incorrect connection, signal interference, etc. Part 2. The fault of outdoor PCB. The fault of outdoor PCB is mainly caused by switching power failure, 16 amp, 25 amp fuse fusing, and PTC heating, etc. Part 3. The fault of the power module. The fault of the power module occurs mostly on the diode bridge rectifier, such as the burnt or short circuit of the diode bridge rectifier. Part 4. The fault of electric reactor. The fault of electric reactor occurs mostly on open circuit of electric reactor or loose terminals. Part 5. The fault of indoor PCB communication. The communication fault of indoor PCB is rare because the indoor temperature and humidity are relatively constant. Part 6. The fault of outdoor DC motor. The fault of outdoor DC motor occurs mostly on short circuit of coil that cause no 5-volt voltage input to outdoor PCB. 3 common faults and troubleshooting processes. Fault 1. The LED 1 is on or flashes and the LED 2 is on. Under normal conditions, LED 1, alarm light, and LED 2, DC 310 volt power supply light, are on. When the LED 1 is on or flashes and the LED 2 is on, we should check whether the voltage between terminal L and N is 220 volt. Check whether the voltage between terminal L and C is between 0 and 80 volt. For the super match product, check whether the voltage between terminal C and N is between 18 to 22 volt. If the voltage is between 18 to 22 volt, the indoor PCB is okay. Replace the connecting wire first. After that, if error code E7 still exists, then replace the outdoor PCB. Fault 2. LED 1 and LED 2 are both off. When LED 1 and LED 2 are both off, if there is no 220 volt on the outdoor terminal block, check whether the connecting wire is okay. The super match product do not need to check this. Check whether LED 2 on the outdoor PCB is on. For individual power modules, check whether the voltage between ACN and ACL is AC 220 volt. Check whether the output of PN is 310 volt. If there is 220 volt on the terminal block, replace the power module. If there is no 220 volt between ACN and ACL, check 16 ampere fuse, 25 ampere fuse, PTC, main relay respectively, and replace outdoor PCB if they are all normal. If there is 220 volt between ACN and ACL, but no 310 volt output from PN, check the electric reactor. If the electric reactor is normal, that the resistance value is about 0 ohms, replace the power module. Fault 3. The LED 1 is off and the LED 2 is on when the LED 1 is off and the LED 2 is on. Unplug the 15-volt sign pin and 5-volt sign pin of the blue terminal. If the LED 1 is back on, that means power module fault. If the LED 2 is back on, that means power module fault. Unplug the DC motor terminal. If the LED 1 is back on, replace the outdoor DC motor. The above is only the common faults diagnosis methods. For special cases, it is necessary to be solved according to customer site. F1 error troubleshooting. When the indoor unit display shows error code F1, that indicates power module overheat, overcurrent, and short circuit. We should check the compressor, power module, outdoor motor, and system pressure. Check whether the voltage of the power supply is normal. Power on the unit. Check the status of the compressor. If the compressor is not running and the LED 1 flashes twice, replace the power module if the compressor resistance is normal. If the compressor has starting sound but cannot run normally, and the LED 1 flashes twice, check whether the compressor terminals are loose. Check whether the U, V, and W terminal are oxidized. Replace the compressor if they are all normal. If the compressor starts normally after running for a while, the LED 1 flashes twice, which indicates overheat protection. Check whether the outdoor motor runs at low speed or is not running at all. Check the system pressure and see whether the refrigerant is overcharged. The above is only the common faults diagnosis methods. For special cases, it is necessary to be solved according to customer site. F25 error troubleshooting. When the indoor unit display shows error code F25. This fault occurs mostly when the compressor discharge temperature is over 120 degrees Celsius and the compressor starts overheat protection. We should check the system pressure, compressor discharge sensor, and outdoor PCB. Power on the unit. Check whether the surface of the compressor, if it is hot, check the cooling system pressure and the volume of refrigerant is not enough. If the temperature of the compressor surface is normal, then it may be caused by circuit fault. Check whether the sensor, terminals, and wires are loose or broken. Check the resistance of the compressor discharge sensor, the black part of the sensor terminal. And replace it if the resistance is not normal. Replace the outdoor PCB if the sensor resistance is normal. The above is only the common faults diagnosis methods. For special cases, it is necessary to be solved according to customer site. E14 Indoor Unit Motor Fault. If the indoor unit display shows error code E14, it is the fault of the indoor unit motor, and this fault seldomly occurs if the indoor motor is a DC motor. Remove the flap, check the crossfan whether the motor is stuck due to sundries or bearings fault. Turn on the indoor unit to check whether the fan speed is normal. If there is no speed change and it is always running at high speed, It is necessary to check whether the terminals are loose or the terminals fault. Fasten the terminals and check whether the problem is solved. If not, replace the indoor motor. Replace the indoor motor and check whether the problem is solved. If not, replace the indoor PCB. The above is only the common faults diagnosis methods. For special cases, it is necessary to be solved according to customer site. F6 Outdoor Ambient Temperature Sensor Fault. If the indoor unit display shows error code F6, it is the fault of the outdoor ambient temperature sensor. Check whether the sensor terminals are loose or broken. If the sensor terminal is okay, check whether the resistance of the sensor is normal. If the resistance is normal, replace the outdoor PCB. The above is only the common faults diagnosis methods. For special cases, it is necessary to be solved according to customer site. 3. Outdoor PCB and power module communication fault. If the indoor unit display shows error code F3, it is the communication fault of the outdoor PCB and power module. Firstly, check whether the blue terminal between the outdoor PCB and the module is oxidized or loose. This fault is quite common in the actual case. Please refer to the signs on outdoor PCB. Check whether the voltage between pin GND and the right pin on the blue terminal is DC 5 volt. Check whether the voltage between pin GND and the left pin is DC 15 volt. If there is no output voltage, replace the outdoor PCB. If the output voltage between pin GND and the left pin is DC 15 volt, and the output voltage between pin GND and the right pin is DC 5 volt, if the output voltage is normal, then replace the power module. The above is only the common faults diagnosis methods. For special cases, it is necessary to be solved according to customer site. F13 Less refrigerant charge and leakage fault. If the indoor unit display shows error code F13, it means less refrigerant charge. Firstly, check the system balance pressure when the unit is power off, and then check the system operating pressure when the unit is power on. If the pressure is lower, check the connecting pipe joints with indoor and outdoor units and stop valves. If there is leakage, repair it and charge refrigerant. If the system pressure is still too low or negative pressure occurs, check whether the two-way valve is open completely. And then check the electronic expansion valve. Check the two-way valve. If it is not cool or frost occurs, the system lacks refrigerant. Check the leakage and charge refrigerant. The above is only the common faults diagnosis methods. For special cases, it is necessary to be solved according to customer site.